we need to talk about your book.
Yeah.
First of all, I love the cover of your
Thank
book.
you.
I remember watching, I think you did a reel talking about like the design of it. And I was like, this is epic. Like, I know y'all can't zoom in, but you'll see. We'll put a link in the bio to show y'all the book. Tell us, like, why'd you write it? What's your favorite chapter? Give us a scoop. And it comes out, it'll be out by the time this episode drops.
Yes.
So you'll be able to just go get it. Link will be in the show notes.
I'm excited.
Yes.
No one's ever asked me what my favorite chapter is. I don't even know where to start. Why'd I write it? So I am first generation Haitian American.
Okay.
And so I really wanted a book that spoke from that experience, right? So having a pretty great support system, having all the accolades and things. I went to private school my whole life. My brothers went to private school. So feeling like you should know better. You should know what you're doing. You have the keys to success. And I was just like, did I fumble the bag? Did I drop the ball?
Because I don't have the keys to success.
Right. I'm like, did I miss something here? Like, I have great parents. I went to school. Like, what's going on? And so I feel like a lot of my shame and embarrassment and fears and not learning and asking earlier was because I had this idea that I'm the first gen. I have to get this right. I have to make my family proud. I have to get the American dream. And I really wanted anyone who's feeling those types of pressures, even at first, I'm also the eldest daughter. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, like the responsibilities you have. And so I really wanted that particular audience, although this book is for everyone, I really wanted that particular audience to feel represented and feel like, oh, I've gone through this. I can learn this too. My current situation isn't my end goal, my end, situation. So this is for them first and foremost, my first gen West Indian Caribbean people. This is definitely something that's relatable for them to understand money and ask the questions that were kind of taboo. I didn't talk about money in my household. I did. And I write a lot about the experiences as I remember them, because I'm sure my parents are like, that's not how it happened.
They'll let you know.
Yeah. But I was talking about like the experiences in opening my first bank account and then buying a pair of Coach sneakers and overdrafting and like feeling so embarrassed that I had to call my dad. I was in college and I was just like, Dad, I need $60. Or just feeling the fear of almost losing my academic scholarship in college and not knowing what I would do for money or how I would figure it out. Cause I'm like, my parents can't afford to pay this and I messed up, So that was really the motivation behind the book. And just like, listen, I didn't know anything. If you feel like you know nothing or you're behind, I didn't know anything. I tried to buy a house with no savings. Like I had no savings account. So there is hope. All hope is not lost. So that is for them. I think my favorite chapter, that's such a good one. I'm so glad you asked that. Cause I was like, what is my favorite chapter? I think my favorite chapter is about home ownership.
Okay.
The reason it's my favorite chapter is because I don't feel like I give this glossed over experience of homeownership. I feel like I am one of the, if not the realest homeowner on Instagram, because I do love owning a home. And I always are like, I love my own space. I love everything about it, but I was not prepared. I was not mentally, emotionally, or financially prepared. And to be 100% honest, I did it because that felt like the next step. Mm-hmm. And it was like, all right, girl, you paid off all the debt. You did what you're supposed to do. Now get out of your parents' house. Get the house. Like that's what you wanted. And I feel like a lot of times people don't think about all the things that come with being a homeowner from a financial standpoint, from an emotional standpoint.
You need a fund just to have a house because things break. All the time.
All the time. And they're so expensive. Yes. I was like, what is going on here? And just the unexpected things that will happen. Because I first moved in, there was a washer dryer already there. I was excited. I was like, oh my God, I've never had a washer dryer. And I still didn't because it was broken the first time I used it. I was just like, wow. And it took me 2 years to save up to get the washer dryer that I wanted. Because I was just like, well, if I'm going to get one, I'm going to get one that I want. But that chapter, I think it's really important because it tells you all the steps and things that you can find pretty much anywhere. Like you need a down payment, you need this, and you need that. But it also really goes into the emotional experience, the financial experience after you close on the home, when you first move in, things I didn't need. The first night that I was in my home, I didn't realize I would need kitchen things because I've lived at home all the time, right? Or at the dorm. So I'm just like, oh, I'm going to make like pancakes, celebratory dinner pancakes. I didn't even have a spatula. I was like, Melissa, you're going to order pizza because you have nothing to cook anything here. Like, what were you thinking? So all the things I never thought about when I lived at home, I write about them specifically in that chapter. Like, oh, don't forget, you need a whisk if you're trying to make eggs. Like, you need these things. So that's definitely my favorite chapter.